How you doing, guys? This is Common Sense Dude Guy doing another video. It's been a couple months since I've done a video. I haven't wanted to talk about a subject anytime soon, but I've been watching some things on YouTube for the last couple months, and I wanted to give my viewpoint on a couple things. As you can see, I'm just sitting here in my pajamas, chilling in my living room. Gotta go to work tomorrow, work a few hours, make a little bit of money, but that's not what I'm going to talk about, because I've been watching some things on YouTube for a couple months, and I guess I wanted to spit out my opinion. Or at least state my opinion. So, been watching some YouTubes, some things on feminism, and things on marriage, and a couple things on how some people view women, and good, bad, indifferent. But I've watched the YouTube videos on things that how they tell you that, they'll tell you how to be happy and make a lot of money if you give them some money. Now, I give you some background on myself. I left home at 19. I'm 48 right now. Took me 25 years to figure life out, and the last 2 years I've managed to do okay. Gave my wife the car she wanted. Took some land from my parents because they were assholes. I'll take that back. They weren't very nice people, so I decided I'd take something from them. Return the favor for making my life miserable for 40 years. But what I want to talk about is that I did the married thing. I got married at 25. I've been with the same woman for 25 years. I never cheated on her. Even when times got hard and the sex wasn't very good, and I chose not to cheat on her. I could have found a woman that would have gave me some sex, maybe sometime in the 20 years I've been faithful to my wife and never cheated on her. I could have found a woman to give me some sex, probably at least 20 years. I'm not very good with women. I keep to myself. I don't really cause much trouble. I say what I say. I stick up for myself. Doesn't matter if a woman dislikes me. If a woman decides to mess with my life, then I'll do the same thing I do to a man that messes with my life. I'll tell them both what I think and ask them to get out of my way, or I'll run them over. See, humans are just morons, no matter who they are, whether they're male, female. They're both morons. They both act stupid. They both act dumb. And most of them couldn't get themselves out of a paper bag if you gave them instructions and read them to them. Now, I'm not a very social person. Most of my friends have 4 legs, furry all over, and walk on 4 legs. Other than my wife, I have no friends. I care not to hang out with humans because most of them are morons to begin with. But I don't have... Now, I've watched some videos lately on YouTube where people tell you how to make a lot of money, and a lot of it makes sense, but I've been so messed up for 20 years that I blew every chance I had to make money. And this is one of those videos out there that's going to tell you that you don't need to ask anybody how to make it. You don't need any fancy tricks on how to make money. You don't need to go ask somebody how to make money. You just got to believe in yourself. And no matter how hard life gets, no matter how little your life wants to interact with you, life doesn't want to help you out. Your wife tells you to go someplace. And your job, and you can't get a job that's worth talking about. And you can't make a whole lot of money above $9 an hour. And your best job is 11 or 10. And you burn every bridge at work. And of course, I haven't had any help from my parents in 25 years. My wife's parents don't want to help me because my wife decided to marry me. Now, I didn't hold a gun to her head and say she had to marry me. She chose to marry me. I chose to say the vows. I put the ring on her finger. She put it on mine. I said the vows 25 years ago. This is just wanted to say that you don't need to know any fancy ways to make money. You don't need to know any secrets to make money. You don't need to go find another woman to have sex with if your wife just doesn't want to give you what you want for a long period of time. That goes for both sexes. My wife's still good looking. She could find another man that would give her what she wants. She don't need to keep me. She don't need to hold on to me. She can dump me tomorrow and find somebody else she wants to be with. She makes enough money. She could go live on her own. She don't need me. But I guess that's how I'm still with the woman, because I was willing to stand up for myself. I was willing to say, this is who I am. Take it or leave it. Now, in 20 years, I wasn't the best husband in the world. I did some pretty messed up things to my wife. I lied to her once or twice. Didn't tell her a few things. Spent some money I didn't have. Ran up 40 grand on credit card debt and didn't worry about it at the time. I didn't care at the time. I was messed up in the head. But what did I worry about what my wife thought or anybody else at the time? I could hardly hold a job down for more than a few months. And I got in trouble a lot. Told my employer where they could go. Told most people where they could go. I still don't have any friends. Then I got a lot of problems that I caused, that I put myself in. That's why I don't make much money. I put myself in the situation I'm in. I got myself out of the situation I'm in. Finally got the vehicle my wife wanted. Only took me 27 years. Took me 25 to figure it out. So this is a video to say that no matter how messed up your situation is, how messed up your parents are, how messed up you are in the head, and how many problems that you create on your own, whether it has to do with creating credit card debt, lying to your wife, being a messed up husband, or a piece of junk, whichever you want to call it first, you can make up for it. You can change everything, and eventually you can fix most of it. Wife has to forgive you for it eventually, but that takes a while, because women remember stuff for a very, very long time. Very long time. I'm talking 5 to 10 years after you made a mistake. Now I'm going to give you a little perspective out there, men. Ladies don't need you. Women in this world don't need men. My wife don't need me. She can find some other. So that's not lesson number 1, men out there. If you wanna find a woman, you better believe they don't need you. Even when you're respectful and you're not rude to them, you still get kicked to the curb some days. You still get treated like a piece of trash. Okay? This life's hard. Life's hard. Living with somebody's hard. Paying bills with someone is hard. There's nothing easy about getting married. There's nothing easy about living with somebody. And if you're gay It's hard to live with another man. Now, I'm not gay. I like women, so I'm been living with a woman for 25 years. Any ladies out there that think going out with ladies is going to solve all your problems, you're wrong. You live with a woman, you're still going to have problems. If you're a woman and you think you can live with a woman, you're still going to have problems. If you're a male and think you can live with a male, you're still going to have problems. Problems don't go away. You decide to live with somebody, you got problems. You got bad days. You got good days. You got days you wish you were dead. You got days you want to hang yourself. You got days you want to give it up. There can be years you feel like this. This problem don't go away in 10 minutes. Now, I married a woman at 25. I lived with her for 5 years. When I married her after 5 years, I either had to or the relationship was over with. I had to make the choice, marry her or move on. So I chose to marry the woman. And 20 years of my life with this woman was hard. It was difficult. It got tiring. Some days I wanted to go find another woman because days got hard. I paid bills with her for 20 years. I bought an apartment with her for 20 years. I bought a house with her for 20 years. I had fights with her for 20 years. About everything. Money, my hobbies, how I spend my money. How much of the money I make I was going to give her control of. Now you might ask me, why would I stay with this woman for 20 years? Was it worth it? Did I feel that way all the time during the last 25 years? Was it worth it? Well, I guess I'm doing pretty good now, so I guess I'll have to give you a decision. I guess it was worth it. Because I guess after 25 years, we're doing okay. She has her job. She makes her money. Twice what I make, but she's been doing that for 27 years, so who cares? I've gotten used to it. Did I like it all the time? No. I wanted to make as much as her, but that didn't happen. I only got another 17 years to work, and then I'll retire and say, forget it. So I don't have to worry about that anymore. Now you might say, was it really worth it? Was it worth it to stay married to my wife? Was it worth it to stay faithful? Was it worth it to not have cheated on her? I guess I can say it was worth it now. I got a nice car in the garage. I got something I can go visit and 4 hours away and get away from life sometimes. I guess it was worth it. But it certainly didn't feel like it during the time I got through it. 10 years ago, my life wasn't that great. 15 years ago, my life wasn't that great. My life only been fun for the last 2 years. And now I'm doing okay. Got a couple snow blowers to move the snow because I'm too old to use a shovel. Got a car to get through the snow. And I'm close to 50. And there's no magic secrets either. And I'm not going to pay anybody on Patreon to tell me the secret of making it. Because I made it. I made it on my own. I figured out how to make it. I didn't need anybody's help. I figured it out on my own. It only took me 25 years. And then I made it work the last 2. Okay? So if you want some information, and you want some common sense, and you want to find out how to make it from someone who's been broke for 25 years, had to wash dishes basically to make a living. I've had no nice, easy-going jobs. I've had no high-paying jobs. I've had no angles to make money. But I made it. I can go to work when I want. I can take 2 days off at work, and I don't have to ask for help. I don't have to ask my job for help. I don't have to ask anybody for help. And I certainly don't have to pay anybody on YouTube to give me any answers, because I have all the answers I need. I figured it out on my own. And it only took me 25 years. So this is me telling everybody out there that you don't need to pay anybody to tell you how it works. You believe in yourself, you take what you can get, and you know when to open your mouth, and you know when to keep it shut. And that's how you make it. You don't make it on taking advantage of people. You don't make it on hustling people. You don't make it on saying, give me some money and I'll give you some answers. That ain't the way you make it. You make it by believing in yourself. You make it by grinding for months, years, knowing that one day there is something out there for yourself. And you don't let the world call you a loser. You don't let your wife call you a loser. You just take whatever time it takes you to get yourself straight. And if that takes 25 years, then it takes 25 years. And something else. You got people out there that think, and I was an alcoholic too, and I had to deal with that. Imagine not making much money for 25 years and I'm still broke. I still don't make much money. But I spent 25 years building a foundation. 25 years of putting a decent roof over myself. And now I don't have to beg. I don't have to beg for hours. I don't have to beg for work. And even though I probably will never make much money until the day I turn 65, I can enjoy the rest of my life the way I want. Now, I'm never going to take any fancy trips to Miami. And I'm never going to go to any foreign countries. And I'm never going to have a Cadillac or a nice, or above the one I figured out how to get. But I got a nice vehicle, and it gets through the snow. And I got a few snow blowers that move the snow. And that's really all I need. I don't need money. I don't need a fancy car. I don't need the best looking wife in the world. Okay? So if you want some straightforward answers on someone who's been through the ringer for 25 years and came out on top, I made my wife happy, I made myself happy, and I'm laughing at the world. And when I'm 65, I'm going to retire. I'm still going to be broke. I won't have much money. But my wife and I will be able to retire together and enjoy life. And I'll still be broke. But I won. I beat life. I make life bend to me. But I'm still broke, but that don't matter. Because life doesn't tell me what to do anymore. I tell life what to do. And, and after 27 years, my wife finally tells me I know something. I earned her respect. I showed her I know something. I showed her I can change. I gave her the car she wanted. I got nothing left to prove. So if you guys, there's some men out there, some women out there that life ain't going real good. Your job's not treating you real good. You're not getting much hours from work. You're messed up with credit. Your credit score isn't the best. World tells you you're a loser. Banks don't want to give you any money. You don't need any of that stuff. You just have to have the guts to ask. Have the guts to ask when nobody wants to. Look at the world and say, I want this, and if you give it to me, fine, or walk away and then ask again. You know what the key to this life is? Being able to grind for 6 months. Being able to go after something for 6 months without giving up. And not taking an excuse from somebody that says, you can't have it. If you want something, you go out there and you get it. I'm not saying that you have to hurt somebody to get it, or destroy somebody to get it, or mess up somebody's life to get it. Because I don't agree with that. You don't need to mess up somebody's life to get what you want. You don't need to take it from somebody else. You don't need to steal it from somebody else. You don't need to hustle it from somebody else. You just got to be willing to take the time to do it. And for some people, it takes a little time. It took me 25 years to get what I have. But you want to know what the nice thing about it is? There's no one that can take it away from me. Because I know how hard it is to get what I have. I know how hard it was to work for what I have. And you know the nice thing about doing it the hard way? There's nobody that can take it away from me. And if you do that, maybe your wife will finally respect you and tell you that you do know something. That you ain't as dumb as you are. But you want to know something else I learned from being married for 25 years? Eventually you got to change your ways of doing things. If you're doing something wrong for 25 years, at some point you have to change. That means you have to fix it. You got to do something different. You can't make the same mistakes 25 times and get sympathy from your wife, because she's not going to give it to you. If you're a male and you're married and you're messing up, stop messing up. Stop making mistakes. Stop doing the same mistake 5 times. Then maybe your wife will give you some, tell you that you ain't stupid and that you ain't a loser. But at some point, if you're messing up your marriage, the only one can fix is you. No excuses about you can't fix anything. And I've been married for 25 years. I made so many mistakes in 25 years that I could talk about them for hours. But you want to know the one thing that's different now? Is at least I fixed them. And I don't make them anymore. And I'm the one that had to stop messing up. Can't blame it on my wife. If I wanted my relationship to get better, I had to change a few things. And guess what, men? You got to change a few things. You can't blame it on your wife. You can't blame it on you. If you're messing up, you have to fix it. You have to change it. You have to be smart enough to figure out you're the one making the mistakes. And guess what, man? You have to change it. You have to fix it. And you can't blame the world for all your mistakes and blame your parents for your mistakes and blame yourself for your mistakes. Because when push comes to shove, the only person that can fix you is you. And that applies to both sexes, men and women. And I've been married for 25 years to the same woman. And sometimes it gets hard. Sometimes I don't want to do anything. I don't want to fix anything. Why should I fix anything? A couple years ago, 2 years ago, I was facing divorce. My wife said, I don't want to have anything to do with you because you can't do anything. You can't keep a job. You can't pay bills right. Well, at 25 years of making mistakes, why would my wife want to stay with me anyway? If I can't do anything right, you think this woman wants to waste time with a loser? Now, I figured out how to save my marriage because I wasn't interested in letting it go down the tubes. But I had to do something during the last 2 years. I had to be a better person. I had to make my wife appreciate the fact she stayed with me. I had to give her something. I had to give her something solid, something that meant something. Not a promise, not a I love you, not a I'll do better, baby. I had to do it. I had to step up, be a man, and do what I said I was going to do. And I had to be a lot better at a few things. And I had to do a few things a lot better than I did in the past 25 years. Okay? So you men out there, or you ladies out there that decide to just think that you can just do whatever you want in a relationship and you're never going to pay for it. Yeah, you mess up your life enough. You choose to get involved with another person, male or female. You will have to one day get your stuff straight. Okay? You will have to get your stuff straight. You will have to stop causing problems. And you will eventually have to get your stuff straight. Now you can take the usual approach that most humans take and say, I don't have to do a thing. I don't have to fix a thing. I don't have to act any different. I can just keep making the mistakes till I die. It doesn't work that way, men. It doesn't work that way either, ladies. So, I might do a few more videos. I got a couple things I want to talk about, but I'm not going to be asking you to give me any money to tell you some magic answers to making a lot of money, because I haven't made a lot of money in 25 years, and I ain't going to make much money the next 18 or so till I give it up at 65 and be broke. But I can tell you how to be happy. I can maybe share how to be happy, not so messed up in this world where you got to try to beat everybody and have the best stuff and have the nicest stuff, and because I've made it with not a lot of money, not a lot of friends, not a lot of money, certainly no help from anybody that I can speak of. I've made it on my own. And I got to the top of the mountain. And I earned the respect of my wife after 27 years. May not be a whole lot. May not be anything worth anybody cares to really give me any thank you for. You know, women aren't the problem. Why this society is messed up. Both men and women are the problem and the reason this society is so messed up. Men and women don't know how to treat each other nicely. Men that choose to get involved, gay men don't know how to treat each other nicely. Neither do lesbians know how to treat anybody nicely. And if this YouTube video gets erased because I said a few things that weren't politically correct, that's okay. I'll clean up the next one and try to have it come across a little more politically correct. But tonight I didn't feel like worrying about it. So, you know, I'll clean it up on the next one and still say my viewpoint. If it gets, YouTube decides to take it off because I said a few things they didn't like. I wasn't trying to say anything to break their rules or get it removed. But if it does, I'll submit it again. I'll clean it up. I don't think it was that bad. I don't think I broke any of YouTube's rules per se, but I had some videos pulled a couple years ago, so my idea is this: the world's messed up because people don't know how to interact with each other, and that goes for both males and females. And I'm not going to get on any, and I'm not on the feminist movement, I'm not on the male movement, I'm not going to support any movement out there at all on anybody's side. Because I don't believe anybody's right. And if humans knew how to treat each other better and weren't trying to take advantage of each other, weren't trying to destroy each other, this world would be a lot nicer place to live in. But I live in the world of reality, and that's why I have no friends. Other than this cat, you see, this is the closest thing I have to a friend. This cat's sitting on here. It's the closest thing I have to a friend, and I don't want anything else other than this cat sitting here to be my friend, okay? Then I have 2 dogs, but they're up there sleeping with my wife, and, you know, that's what they do every night. They don't come down and see me, but I got 2 kitties that come see me because I stay up late at night, so I have 2 cats that come see me. See this one? That's orange. And I got a black one that'll come see me later. So I have company tonight when the dogs